I see you're still at it, Chris.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, Andrea, I got to get this plumbing done. I am so wore out with all the. Nobody sees any of this stuff.
We'll take a break from it. I'm sure there's other things that need to be done that can be more fun.
What do you suggest? Plumbing, electrical, we've been doing all this stuff that's
too early to paint, so.
A little. We could paint, but I guess we'd have to start over. What do you suggest we do today?
I don't know, let's go outside. It's nice out. Let's see what there is to find out there.
You know, we're gonna be getting the house done soon. Maybe we should get a real estate professional. I've been thinking about the garage doors, doing something with them. I haven't done anything with the garage doors yet.
Yeah,
and
those need some help.
They do. They're the old wooden and they're kind of a mess. Hey, wait, hey. Welcome to welcome to House to Home. You know, you're so right. We do need to stop with this for a bit. I'm kind of getting tired of the plumbing, even though we need it.
Yeah.
It's very important.
I know, all that measuring gives me a headache.
It does give me a headache too. So I think you're right. Why don't we go outside? Why don't we call in a real estate professional? We'll talk about getting some help with the aesthetics and what exactly can a realtor do to help us. And then we'll see if we can find a garage door expert and maybe bring them in and they could tell us about garage doors and what we could do to kind of dress the garage up.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
I like how you think.
Awesome. I think you think that.
Let's go outside.
The world is full of remarkable things, but some things are so remarkable that you may not have noticed. And that's the point. For 50 years, 3M has engineered advanced window films that make glass remarkable. Films for homes that help reduce heat, block harmful UV rays, protect interiors from fading, and save on energy costs. Rooms stay cooler, so you can enjoy a warm cuddle. Now that's remarkable.
Glassman is ready to help you beat the heat. With Carrier Cool Cash, the season to save is now. There's never been a better time to upgrade to Carrier quality and efficiency. Now through June 30th, you can claim up to $14.50 in Cool Cash rebates on a new system or receive 60-month financing. Don't wait! Cool Cash is only available for limited time. Turn to the experts. Call Glassman now.
Heating and air. The choice is perfectly clear. Glassman Plumbing, Heating.
Great design is in great details. Your design headquarters, the Furniture Look on the Bricks in downtown Haines.
Midwest Energy is a cooperative, meaning that our electric and natural gas customers are also our owners. Serving nearly 92,000 customers in 41 counties in central and western Kansas, Midwest Energy's employees are proud to bring you safe, reliable, and affordable energy services. Learn more at mwenergy.com. Midwest Energy, a customer-owned cooperative, making energy work for you.
Does that mean action?
I guess.
Is this a new sign?
Or maybe he's fishing.
No, wait a minute. Yeah, he's casting. Speaking about casting, speak into the mic. This is our new boom mic. What do you think of that?
I don't know. I think it looks more like a potato shooter.
It does look like a potato gun or a
marshmallow
let's just
shooter.
throw it away. We've had enough. We've had, sorry about that. We've had enough talk about plumbing, haven't we? We've been doing we've been doing plumbing, heating and air. We've been putting on siding.
I've been doing plumbing, and I know I'm sick of it already, and I'm not done yet.
It's kind of a crappy job.
I'm not working on the crap report.
I don't know that we can say crap on TV, but it's kind of a crappy job. Can we say crap on TV? I just said crap like 4 times. Instead of talking about the crappy stuff, here's what we're going to do. I think today we're going to come outside and let's talk about aesthetics on the house. Because I'm telling you, the house may not look like it's getting done, but it's going to get done quicker than we think. And it's going to be time to do what? Sell it. So, we need a professional to sell our house, don't we?
Typically, it's a good idea.
Well, I just happen to know one, and he just happened to be standing right there. Robert Riedel.
Chris, thanks for having me.
Nice to meet
Great
you, young
pleasure.
man.
Right
How
here.
are you?
I'm great. How about yourself?
I'm a little jealous. Your hairline's not quite as receded as mine, but
It's a hard battle. It's a hard battle.
yeah, I'm thinking about a wig.
The forehead's gone. Now I'm to a 5 head.
That's kind.
It's a hard battle.
I like that. So, okay. So we're going to recap just briefly. I don't know if you've been. You've had to be watching the
I was
past episodes of this show.
Yep.
But we've talked about. We've been in the attic. We've done all kinds of different things. We talked about siding. We've done all these different things. And so, what's going to end up happening is all of a sudden I'm going to have the house done, and we're going to be like, now what do we do next? Kind of that selling thing.
Sure.
And you're a realtor.
I am.
You have a real estate company, Williams Real Estate, right?
Williams Real Estate,
Okay,
that's right.
and so obviously we bring in professionals because there are just some things that I'm not very good at. There's some things that Andrea's not. Well, Andrea's good at everything, but we're just going to pretend that she's not. And so we're going to talk about some aesthetics. And the first thing I'm going to say to you is this: I'm getting ready to sell my house, and we have all this technology available to us. And I say, realtor, schmielator. Why do I need you?
And that's what a lot of people would say, actually. And it's becoming more and more legitimate of a question because there's so much information available to us instantly. But just like most people, you've got plenty to do during the day. And I don't know if you're sitting there watching the market, seeing what's coming on, when it's coming on, setting up the appointments, doing all of the legwork. Wouldn't you rather just go shopping with that, whopping 1 or 2 hours of free time that you have in the evenings, So rather than burning through so much time, get yourself a bird dogger, get out there and do all the legwork for you.
I like how you say that, bird dogger.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, you're out there, and you know what, you're right. I had somebody actually ask me yesterday. They were like, hey, do you know of this house or this kind of house or a 4 or 5 bedroom house for sale? And I was like, whoa. Okay, first of all, I mean, you'd have to get online and look. You need to go out there. And I honestly said, you need to find a realtor that is, and I didn't ever use the term bird dogger, but that's really good. You're out there doing it.
Absolutely.
You see what's coming on. You hear what's coming on.
And you're the first one to know and hear and see.
Yeah. That
Well, and
hair in
that's-
your eyes, I don't have that problem.
I know.
Anymore.
It's true.
Well, yeah, I mean, people talk to you about construction, they talk to you about education, they talk to you about ladies' fashion, and they approach me about real estate. We talk about real estate, and so I've been thinking about selling, or we're thinking about downsizing. It's just what people talk to us about because we're in the profession, and whether they're ready to sell now or not, it's the conversation that most people start with because that's what they know us from, and so you're right. It's not just necessarily what's out there now or what just came up today, but it's what's going to be coming available and maybe when you should time your sale to coincide with something like that.
Yeah, and I think the other side of it is, and this was something I've learned a lot about just knowing you and being around you. It's your ability to. You're right. It's that future stuff that's going on.
Right.
It's understanding the market and what's And the other side of it is if you have a house to sell. I mean, that's a whole nother side of things.
Oh, absolutely.
What are you gonna,
Some things to do to help get your house sold.
Yeah, I mean, because there's this outside stuff we got to think about, and not just that. It's like, a lot of times I don't know about you guys, but I have a beer. I have champagne taste and a beer budget.
Yeah.
And I may think my house is worth one amount, or I may, it's worth 4 times what it is, and I think I can move up further, and I can,
Right.
and I can't. So how do you come in that beginning and help people find that where their happy medium
Well,
is?
and that's a really good question because a lot of people want to, and you would probably be a victim of this too. You worry about the guts, you worry about the really important stuff, and you dump thousands of dollars into brand new water heaters and brand new heating and air conditioning and just all of the systems that go with a home. And to you, as the homeowner, you feel good about having everything inside of the house that's new and working great. But if you can't get them in the door to even look at your house because of the overgrown lawn or those old shrubs or other peeling paint around your windowsills, they're not even going to get to your brand new heater. So there's a lot of things that you need to do that help appeal to shoppers, just to at least get them in the door, get them looking and considering your property, and maybe $1,000 towards some touch-up paint or landscaping would go a lot farther than taking out a water heater that's already heating the water. It's just
Right.
9 years old.
Right. Now, I do want to say I'm taking offense to a couple things you've said. One about ladies' fashion.
Okay.
That hurt because I do believe I have some fashion in me.
Yeah.
A little. Not a lot, but I do have some. So that hurt me. And the other thing is what you're trying to say is that instead of worrying about shrubs or stuff, really I should put my furnace on the front porch.
It's a good place to start.
I mean, polish that baby up and make it look
Absolutely.
good because I'll tell you what, I am a dude that likes great mechanical stuff.
You could at least do a shadow box. A shadow box out there on the front.
That's true.
Pictures.
I never thought
little
of that.
models.
You know, by the way, I would like to bring something up. You know, you take all these pictures and you try to sell a house. I rarely ever see a picture of the furnace room.
That's true. Or the garage.
Yeah.
I've had a
Well,
lot of people
yeah.
say, why don't you take pictures of the garage? And
Yeah.
I think, it depends on who you're selling to, I guess.
That's all good points, and I'm just razzing you because I can, and it's our show, and
Sure.
we can make you leave whenever we want.
I know, exactly.
So okay, so let's go back real quickly because we're about out of time, but take the time. Number one, call a professional because that's what you do.
It's what we do,
You have an
right, all the
understanding.
time.
You have an understanding of where things are, where people can go, what they can move, step up or step down. There's a lot of things to consider. You know what's out on the market. And another side of it is what's coming on the market.
Exactly.
You may know somebody that wants to sell their house, but they don't know where to go, and you can be that connector.
Exactly.
You're a dot connector.
Well, and sometimes connecting those dots is more important than getting that last $1,000 out of the price. You know, if you can take some of that stress out of the transaction, that can be valuable too.
Stress. We like to do away with stress.
Well, you're a really high stress guy, I can tell.
That's because I don't have any hair. What else can we do? Thank you.
Thank you.
What we're going to do next is you brought up the thing about aesthetics, and we've been talking about that. We're gonna bring in somebody next to talk about some garage doors because I'm going to tell you they look rough. A little caulking I think would do, but I think he's going to have a different idea.
Yeah, I think
You
they
think
can
so?
take a little more than some
All right.
caulking. Yep.
We'll be right back.
Great design is in great details. Your design headquarters, the Furniture Look on the Bricks in downtown Haines.
Each year, about 400 electrocutions occur in the United States. You can avoid shock by knowing one basic premise. Electricity always seeks the easiest path to the ground, and you are a perfect conductor. Stay 20 feet from damaged power lines. And if down wires touch your car, don't get out, stay inside and call for help. And don't let others touch the car until it's safe. Electrical safety tips for Midwest Energy, a customer-owned cooperative making energy work for you.
Faster than you can Google home equity loan, the Bank of Hays can have that line of credit at your fingertips. In less time than you'll spend calling an 800 number to get service from a chain bank, the Bank of Hays has already met any needs you might have. You see, at Bank of Hays, we bring you something in banking no one else can. The idea of here and now, meeting all your financing needs now because we're right here in Hays. From financing a car to a home, let us help you now.
Here, now, wow!
Glassman is ready to help you beat the heat. With Carrier Cool Cash, the season to save is now. There's never been a better time to upgrade to Carrier quality and efficiency. Now through June 30th, you can claim up to $14.50 in Cool Cash rebates on a new system or receive 60 months financing. Don't wait. Cool Cash is only available for limited time. Turn to the experts. Call Glassman now.
Heating and air. The choice is perfectly clear. Glassman Plumbing, Heating and
Well, you know, I got to be honest. Kind of glad he's gone. The women's fashion statement,
That really,
it really offended me.
rubs you the wrong way, huh?
I mean,
Well, yeah, I mean, people talk to you about construction, they talk to you about education, they talk to you about ladies' fashion.
I spend a lot of time doing this every day.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
can
says
you not?
The, says the hoodie that you wear all the time with the paint splattered. all
Well, I had
over
to
it.
buy a new one. I already got some grease on it this
Yeah.
morning working on my old car, but I was supposed to have office hours, and nobody told me what office I was supposed to be. Yeah, that's cool. So what did I do? I took the carburetor off, and I took it with me to school. Makes sense, huh?
Yeah.
All right, let's
Okay.
get serious. Welcome back to House to Home. So he gave us some pointers about exterior, about kind of dressing up the outside, And
Doing things to get people into your
yeah,
house.
I mean, I do believe the furnace is more important, but he said aesthetics, bushes, and
Yeah.
fancy things. Well, talk about aesthetics. Look at these garage doors.
I know, they're kind of peeling there.
I know. And so, you know, we
Not
need an
just
expert. Do we go behind door number 1, door number 2, or door number 3? What do you think?
I'm gonna bet on number 3.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd pick 3 because that's the only one that's unlocked. And look at here. Oh my God, we have a door expert.
Hey.
JW, how are you, man?
Good, yourself?
I'm doing all right. I was, you know, I want to welcome you to this show because the last person wasn't as kind. Now we'll see where you end up in this little
Well,
circle.
I appreciate it. We'll see what we can do for you.
My garage doors they need a little caulking.
Yeah.
They're a little, I mean, if I close this baby down, what do you think?
Well,
You think
coat of
she's-
paint.
You
Well,
think
coat of
she's
paint.
aesthetically
Yeah.
pleasing? I don't even know where to begin. Those doors are probably original?
Yeah, I would say.
From the
They're-
40s?
Yeah, they haven't made doors like that in probably 20, 30 years.
Yeah, well, that's probably a reason for that, huh? So, you take a look at these doors. I've got 3 of them. Where would you? By the way, you're a door guy.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about what you do.
I'm with Strobel Door and Repair out of Russell.
Right.
We basically install and repair overhead doors.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So
just
you do
overhead doors.
Yeah,
Not
we
even-
we do like the commercial coiling doors you see on elevators.
Oh, wow.
But as far as like a walk door residential, we don't really do that kind of
It's
thing.
not your thing.
No.
I mean, if I took it and held it over my head and opened it, would that be considered an
Yeah, we
overhead
might
door?
come over and take a peek at it then.
Yeah.
We won't do that to you, I promise. So where? Okay, getting this house fixed up. I am going to sell this house, you know, or even if I was going to live here, where do I even begin?
Well, there are a ton of options as far as appearances go.
That's what scares me right there.
It's always good to have an idea of the style of door that you want before you come and talk to us, because like I said, there's literally hundreds of options. The main options are, you know, you can get a non-insulated door, just a polystyrene insulated door, and then they've got the high-end, high R-value polyurethane doors you can choose from.
So the polyurethane, you're talking like the foam. It's like a
Yeah,
foam,
yeah,
dense
yeah,
foam that's in there.
I didn't even realize there were insulation
Yeah.
standards in.
Yep.
What do you know?
Especially on attached garages, I always recommend going insulated, even if you go just a polystyrene insulation. If you ever decide to insulate the garage, it will make a difference as far as the heat in the house.
Right.
Because it's a great place for it to escape if it's not insulated.
Right. Do they, you know, do they still make wood doors?
They do. There are some out there,
Really?
but they're pretty expensive. They're
Yeah.
on the pretty high end.
Because I mean, I'm sure it's just like, I mean, it's all handmade. I'm sure a
Yeah.
lot of that stuff. No, I mean, you know, they use machines, but so what style of the case? We know there's wood, there's metal, obviously.
Yeah.
What other kind of doors are there?
Really, the only other option out there still is fiberglass, but they're not the old yellow fiberglass doors you see around. Again, they're more of a high-end type door.
So really, I mean, so first of all, you talk about style.
Right.
There's the regular. You see the regular square panel.
Right,
The square
right.
kind of has that panel look to it. And then there's doors. One of the things I thought about on this house was it used to be a barn. So I was kind of thinking about going that direction
Big
of kind of
like
that.
brackets.
Yeah, that kind of
on
have
it.
the old. That it kind of gives it that flavor of its
Hinges and
old.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
There are a number of carriage house style
Carriage house is the name.
doors. There's different handles and hammered iron hinges you can put on them to dress them up.
Now is that something you can add to a door existing? Like
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you wanted to keep
Yeah,
them, so you
there
can
are
add
a
'em.
few doors out there that aren't even what you would consider a carriage house style door.
Right.
That we've dressed up with the hinges and handles, and it's amazing how much difference it makes.
It makes it look that way. And if and when you talk about so you go back to the options, I know there's tons. So could a person could they go out on the internet, look at door styles and say, man, I like this or this, and then just print those off and bring them to
Yes,
you, and you
yeah.
could sit. It gives you something to start with
yeah,
instead
a
of
good starting point.
Yeah, instead of just kind of like, oh my, opening a book. And I know me, when I dress up in the morning, it's overwhelming for me with the selection of T-shirts I have and
It's
things
such
like
a
that. I mean, it's overwhelming. So I just stay
fashionable
with
person,
the typical blue jeans T-shirt guy. So when you go to a door, we come in to see you. I say I want a carriage house, or this is the style of door. You can just start kind of laying out. Now, what do you want to spend? Do you want to
Right.
you want a lower end? You want a high
Right.
end?
Well,
you
and
know,
like windows, some doors have windows.
Right.
Some
oh
don't.
yeah,
Right.
when you talk about windows, yeah, because there's a whole.
Yeah, there's non-insulated windows. You can get the insulated windows. There's tons of different designs. You can go with the small raised panel, the typical squares you see, or there's the long panel, the ranch style,
Right.
more of the rectangle. So
Do most doors have the panels like this, or do some of the doors still open in one solid? where
there are still a few of those
Are there
out
still a
there,
few?
but they
Yeah.
don't make them very often.
Yeah. How about when you open them? This is another side. What about the spring, because you have a coil and there's a coil spring.
And then the extension springs.
The
springs that
extension
stretch
spring.
out. You don't see very many of the extension springs in new construction anymore. There's still plenty of them out there.
Right.
I like the torsion spring personally because it lifts on both sides of the door. That eliminates that rocking back and forth you get sometimes. And also, when the spring breaks, because inevitably it's going to happen,
Yeah.
when that torsion spring breaks, it stays on the shaft. It doesn't
Right.
go anywhere.
Right.
When the extension spring breaks, if there's no safety cable,
Yeah.
it's gone.
Yeah, goes flying across
So,
the room. And one more thing I got to ask you before. I am going to almost bet you're going to say yes. Garage door openers. Do you do the garage door openers as
Yes,
well?
yes.
I mean, it goes along with it. Not many people anymore put in a door that you got to get out and
Right.
crank the
Manually
door
lift
up.
it,
Right.
yeah.
I mean,
There again, there's several options in that. There's the three basic ones are your chain, your screw drive, and your belt drive. If you're just wanting a standard operator, a half-horse chain drive is where it's at. That we probably 90% of the operators we put up are a chain drive. But if you want a super quiet operator, the belt drive's the way to go. You can barely hear them running.
wow.
So.
I'll tell you what, a lot of choice. But I think we do something like that with this house. It'll make it look a lot better, sell a lot better. Which reminds me, I got to find a new realtor. 'Cause the last guy's out of here. That comment, I'm telling you, it still hurts. Can you see the dagger? Get it out of my back.
Oh,
I'm telling
you're
you.
such a
It's like,
wuss,
I
yeah.
know. I'll tell you what. Well, when we come back, this young lady and I will wrap this all up.
Great design is in great details. Your design headquarters, the Furniture Look on the Bricks in downtown Haines.
Natural gas is a clean, safe, economical energy source when installed and used properly. Your gas furnace or stove should have a steady blue flame. If not, call a qualified contractor for service. And if you smell that distinctive natural gas odor, leave your home or business immediately. Call Midwest Energy from a neighbor's phone and we'll be right there. Gas safety tips from Midwest Energy, a customer-owned cooperative making energy work for you.
Faster than you can Google home equity loan, the Bank of Hayes can have that line of credit at your fingertips in less time than you'll spend calling an 800 number to get service from a chain bank. The Bank of Hayes has already met any needs you might have. You see, at Bank of Hayes, we bring you something in banking no one else can. The idea of here and now, meeting all your financing needs now because we're right here in Hayes. From financing a car to a home, let us help you now.
Here, now, wow!
The world is full of remarkable things, but some things are so remarkable that you may not have noticed. And that's the point. For 50 years, 3M has engineered advanced window films that make glass remarkable. Films for homes that help reduce heat, block harmful UV rays, protect interiors from fading, and save on energy costs. Rooms stay cooler, so you can enjoy a warm cuddle. Now that's remarkable.
What do you think?
What are you doing?
Aesthetics. See? Because look. See, they're air conditioners. That doesn't look, and it's on the side of the house. And if I put this up here, level her up. Here, watch this. Watch this. Right. Oh, look at that. Look at the difference that made.
That'll stay through the next rain.
What do you think?
Yeah, right. No,
You don't like my idea?
not so much.
So Robert comes on. He makes fun of my my abilities to dress myself.
Well, I think this kind of rolls over into
And
that.
now you're saying that I can't
Yeah, this
aesthetically make my house pleasing.
This is a weak spot for you. Yeah.
Hunzafoot said I need to powder my forehead because there's too much of a glare on the camera. What am I going to do? You have a better idea? Okay.
I do.
Let's lay this over here.
You know?
Okay.
You know, plant some boxwoods.
You got so many ideas. You got so much going on.
Yeah.
Tell me what to do.
Okay, boxwoods. Or some kind of bush around here to kind of cover them, but it needs to be something that can
So now that
sustain
means
the
we're going to have
heat.
to find a landscape expert.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do that
or-
sometime.
Yeah. This pile of, I won't use the word you've been using earlier, it probably should go.
Crap.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not afraid to say it.
I don't know what you're doing here, but
Well-
that's not good.
That's part of the construction process, which we should remove.
Yeah.
So if you have, so what you're saying is if you've been working on your house and doing a bunch of things and you have a lot of things laying around the outside, probably clean up like piles of wood I got laying
you
out
got a
here.
couple- yeah.
Probably that big old wooden pallet laying over there should probably be going.
Dirt pile.
The dirt pile should be smoothed out and leveled out is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, but I mean, you've been doing a few good things. You got the new siding up on here in the garage and stuff. That's a
So I
good
have some
start.
positive. There are some positive
Yeah,
things
yeah,
in my
you're-
life. I mean, I do need to. I mean, how's it? How's that?
Yeah,
Bottom
it
lip
doesn't
dragon?
work well for you. But you know,
I don't like it anyway.
You could get some shutter. You got some shutters there. You might want to replace them. But yeah, I mean, you got.
Yeah.
It's,
You know, and that's a
there's
good
different
point because your
stuff.
house has shutters. You probably ought to step outside and take a look, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, make sure they're in good shape. They're clean. These are looking pretty rough, broken.
yeah. I think some hails maybe got to them.
Yeah,
I don't
hail,
know.
yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there's things you just got to think about it.
Yeah, and the garage doors. I'd hate to do all this work on this house and leave those old garage doors.
Yeah.
I mean, because it does. You walk up and you're like, ooh.
Ugh,
And
yeah.
the carriage thing he's talking
Yeah.
about, insulated metal, no maintenance.
Yeah.
That's why we did the hardy siding because it drops down on the maintenance. You know, we have all this stone. It's obviously you don't have to maintain.
Right.
I mean, just
Yeah.
keep it clean and that kind of stuff. But so by updating the garage doors, getting some good openers on there.
Yeah, and that's a lot of some people like yours garage is in the back, but a lot of people's their garage doors on the front, and that can really be a point to dress up.
Yeah, absolutely. And so by kind of getting that outside appeal or that, it's like Robert said. There, I think he did make maybe one good point in everything he said was maybe two. That's
Just
jab
one.
number 62 that I've gotten in for his
Yeah,
little
yeah.
dress comment. Misa's working in there, hear him already.
You're hammering away.
What was I going to say? See, it was so small that I even forgot what he said. No, I know what it was. One of the things he talked about was, getting the outside cleaned up. You got to get them in the door, first of all, if you're going
Yeah.
to sell your house. Just, if they drive by and see stuff laying all over the yard and it's
Yeah.
kind of unorganized.
Makes you nervous about what's inside. Then.
I mean, exactly. And so you really want, it's about it's being inviting people, making them
Yeah.
feel good and say, well, I think a lot of it is you want to make people immediately want to live there. And that's kind of one of the things that I'm thinking here is I want people when they drive by, I want them to see it and go, man, I'd love to live in that house. So
Yeah.
I think those are good things. What have you done at your house to help? I mean,
Well, we've actually been working on that. We painted the house last summer, just a newer, more modern color, and that made a world of difference. It was amazing how that made a difference.
Right.
Putting in new windows, and we're going to do some shutters. And right now, we're actually working on a retaining wall and plants around that. So
very cool.
we've got the old railroad ties, and that's was obviously back
Yeah.
in the 70s, 80s, and so updating that as well.
Yeah, but how do you know that? I mean, do like the railroad tie thing. You just kind of do a little research to find out like what's happening out there and what looks good and what's.
Well, I think you look at it and they're starting to rot out now and everything, and you're like, they've been here a long time. It's probably time to update.
Absolutely. So it makes sense when you look at all those different things, the outside curb appeal. That's the other thing. What I think the good thing about bringing a realtor in is they can step outside with you. They can look at it and say, listen, here's some ideas. Here's some pointers to help you. They're there to help you.
Right.
And they're there. That's what they're doing. Same with bringing in an expert like JW with garage doors. They know what's going to go well
Yep.
on your house. I mean, and they've got like he said, and I agree. It's like you go to buy a garage door and there's like there's so many options out there.
Yeah.
It's just like, wow, where do you
Yeah,
start?
so I need to have a catalog.
Yeah,
look
start getting
through
some
them all.
ideas. So
Yeah.
good stuff.
Yep.
A lot of information. A lot of information.
Oh.
Thanks.
See, he's trying to make up
trying to
for it. He's helping me out there.
I even like you less than I did before I didn't like you. That's all I can say. Well, I guess
looks
my
good.
walls are going to have to talk here in just about 2 minutes. So we will be right back.
Glassman is ready to help you beat the heat. With Carrier Cool Cash, the season to save is now. There's never been a better time to upgrade to Carrier quality and efficiency. Now through June 30th, you can claim up to $14.50 in Cool Cash rebates on a new system or receive 60-month financing. Don't wait. Cool Cash is only available for limited time. Turn to the experts. Call Glassman now.
Plumbing, heating and air. The choice is perfectly clear. Glassman Plumbing, Heating and
Looking for a new career? Midwest Energy has great careers in electric and natural gas utilities throughout central and western Kansas. We offer competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a wide variety of field and administrative positions. Most positions require community or technical college, and internships are available. Learn more at mwenergy.com. Midwest Energy, a customer-owned cooperative making energy work for you.
Faster than you can Google home equity loan, the Bank of Hayes can have that line of credit at your fingertips in less time than you'll spend calling an 800 number to get service from a chain bank. The Bank of Hayes has already met any needs you might have. You see, at Bank of Hayes, we bring you something in banking no one else can. The idea of here and now, meeting all your financing needs now because we're right here in Hayes. From financing a car to a home, let us help you now.
Here, now, wow!
The world is full of remarkable things, but some things are so remarkable that you may not have noticed. And that's the point. For 50 years, 3M has engineered advanced window films that make glass remarkable. Films for homes that help reduce heat, block harmful UV rays, protect interiors from fading, and save on energy costs. Rooms stay cooler, so you can enjoy a warm cuddle. Now that's remarkable.
Welcome back to House to Home, and probably, I guess you know what, I like the whole darn show, but probably one of my favorite parts is this part, is If My Walls Could Talk. And you know, one of the things that I've shared before, or I share when I write, is just finding the place where my walls could talk and not worrying about what people would say. And of course I worry. Of course I'm concerned what other people think of me. Hey, I'm human. But there's this other side of me that often I'm just kind of like, it really doesn't matter what I say or don't say or what I do or don't do. I'm going to be judged. And I'm kind of getting used to that, and I don't know if I'm growing thick in my skin or what it is, but we were talking about doors today, and Andrea and I and JW from Strobel Door, from Garage Door, and one of the things I really is kind of ironic is when you think about your life and you think about all these things we got going on. We got this going on in our life, and this is going on in our life, but we may hide those two things, but we open this door. And then all of a sudden, maybe this gets too heavy for us. A perfect example is my dad's death. On Wednesday, I had got to build the urn for him. I drove over to Nest City, and my mom and I went and picked up the urn. And up to that point, I had not been back home since my dad's death, and it was kind of like a closed door for me. My mom is there; that's her life. But when I left after the funeral, I kind of got to close the door on that. And going back on Wednesday to do that, I kind of, I had to reopen that part of my life and really kind of start thinking about it. And wow, that's heavy, heavy stuff when you think about how you can open and close these parts of your life, and you can visit them. I was sharing with my mom, I call it deep grief diving. So here's how I look at it. I think it's dangerous to open all the doors because it's so overwhelming that what ends up happening, I go, and I say this all the time, especially guys. I think what guys do is they tend to compartmentalize. I compartmentalize, and you know what? I'm glad I do, because I'll close doors on some things. Maybe my divorce, I don't want to think about it. And so I'll open the door on Blake's death, and I think about it for a while. And then you know what? After I do this deep grief diving, I go down there, I do some examination, I think about how it's affected my life, and then guess what? I close it. And you know, I close it because I'm okay with it. I don't need to leave that part of my life open all the time and exposed for the world to see. And you know why? Because I've grown to work with it. My son's death is a part of my life. My divorce, part of my life. I'm not afraid anymore. I don't have to hide it. But I do know that when I do that deep grief diving, I go down there, I search around a bit, kind of like in the dark, just like a diver would, and then I come back up to the surface for air. And then when I get kind of replenished and I have the energy, I can go open another door in my life, and I can go back and do some examination. And I think when we go do those things, instead of just forgetting about them, what we end up doing is we learn from them. And when we learn from the past, we start to be able to live in the moment, and those moments are what really help us build our future. And that's what I'm about. I used to be focused in the past. I started to transition this future, you know, this direction towards the future. And it's really helped me get a grip, I guess is the best way of where I want to go and what I want to do with my life. I'm a builder, I'm a teacher, and ironically I drug a 1949 Packard home on Tuesday, so I guess now all of a sudden I'm a car restorer. So you just never know where you're going to end up. And I think that's what's cool about life. Open and close the doors, visit them, do that deep grief diving, come back up, take a deep breath, and just realize that you have so much to live for, so much to share, because it's those experiences what make you who you are. It's what makes that Rubik's Cube we talked about, gives you the ability to break it up and really start aligning your life and bringing all those colors into place. It's good stuff. I'm telling you, if my walls could talk, and my walls will talk.